A very good morning, dear friends. I'm Dr. Bhavita Sen. I am an ENT consultant, and today I'll be telling you about what to expect and what precautions to take after you've had surgery of the ear or of the nose. First, we'll go through the precautions needed to be taken after ear surgery. What things to expect after you have had a ear surgery, depending on what time of the day your surgery takes place and how the surgery went, we will decide whether to discharge you the same evening or the next day. Usually if the surgery takes place in the morning and is uneventful, we usually discharge the patient the same day. However, if there have been some complications or the surgery has taken place later in the day, we may discharge you the next day or the day after. Depending on how your surgeon wants to see you, you may have an appointment within a week or maybe even 6 weeks later. It depends on what kind of dressing is put inside your ear canal. Sometimes we use absorbable ear canal dressings, in which case you may be given an appointment much later because they tend to dissolve on their own. During your subsequent appointments, the surgeon will keep clearing up these ear canal dressings so that the ear slowly feels better and better. Sometimes you may feel a bit of numbness on the top of your ear. This is because when we give an incision on the back of the ear, the nerves which give the sensation to your ears will be cut. This numbness will go away anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. It takes time, so you have to get used to it. In elderly patients who are of the older generation, they may find that there is a bit of bruising which is starting from behind the ear and goes down into the neck. This bruising usually goes away on its own in 2 to 3 weeks time. It's nothing to worry about. There will be dressings inside your ear canal which will give you a feeling of ear blockage. So even when you come out of anesthesia, you may feel that your ear is feeling completely blocked and oh my god, what surgery has taken place? Why is my ear feeling like this? Nothing to worry about. These ear canal dressings need to be placed so that the ear heals properly, and it will take some time, anywhere between 1 to 6 weeks. Slowly it will go away on its own, or the surgeon will clean them up during your subsequent appointments. There will be a bandage which will be given on top of your ear. This is to protect your ear. Usually we take it away the next day or the day after. This dressing is needed and will give you a feeling of pressure on your ear, but once the dressing is off, the pressure feeling will go away. There may be some degree of bloody discharge from your ear. This is because when we operate on you, there is some blood that comes out, and after the surgery this blood tends to dissolve slowly as you put eardrops on your ear canal dressings, and this old blood will ooze out in the form of red watery discharge. We usually ask you to put a cotton ball on your ear to soak this dressing. Depending on how much of a discharge you're getting, you may need to change this cotton ball 1 to 4 times a day or even more frequently. As the discharge slowly goes away, you may not need to change the cotton ball anymore. It is strongly advisable that you keep your ears dry. It is very, very important that you keep your ears dry, because if there is water entry in your operated ear, there will definitely be an infection and then things will become very complicated. You may shampoo your hair, but we strongly recommend using a dry shampoo and not a wet shampoo, because water, like I said, water entry in your ear will be a very big problem. And depending on how your surgery went, whether there was any signs of infection, the surgeon will prescribe you some antibiotics, which usually need to be taken anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. We live in a tropical country, so we usually prescribe all our patients antibiotics for the first 7 days at least. If there was an incision at the back of your ear, in that case we usually put some sticky white dressings, and these either they peel off on their own in 7 to 10 days time, or they may need to be removed. Once the dressings come off, then you can slowly and very carefully clean the back of your ear with soap and water. Some patients may complain of loss of balance or a feeling of what we call vertigo in medical jargon. The vertigo is because of 2 reasons. One is that you may be having some kind of a reaction to anesthesia drugs, or during the surgery some work has taken place near your inner ear where the balance system is. This vertigo will slowly subside with some medication, of course, over 7 to 10 days time. please do not worry. However, it is strongly recommended that if you had a feeling of disbalance during the post-operative period or even thereafter, please do not drive on your own. I would strongly recommend that you take first 1 to 2 weeks off after your surgery. I have personally been through 2 major surgeries, and please let me tell you that these first 2 weeks is the most important time. If we try to cut this time short and we try to return to our work faster, it is only going to backfire and you will take that much longer to completely recover from your surgery. So please do not do any strenuous activities or any heavy duty activities for the first 1 to 2 weeks. Thereafter, you can easily join your work depending on how you feel. Usually after surgery, at the end of surgery, we put 2 types of stitches. One is the absorbable type, which is deep to the skin and is not visible to you from outside. It tends to get absorbed on its own. These are absorbable stitches. The second type is placed on the skin. These may be absorbable, in which case they do not need removal. They usually dissolve on their own between 1 to 3 weeks time. Or they may be blue or black colored stitches, in which case they will need removal at 7 to 10 days time. You may need to take an appointment for stitch removal at the prescribed time. Like I said already, some antibiotics will be prescribed to you and some simple painkillers will be given to you depending on what the surgeon has prescribed to you. Please be very compliant with the medications which you are given. It is very important that you take all the medications at the prescribed time and do not be non-compliant with these medications because they are given for a prescribed reason. When we operate on the ear, after we have lifted the eardrum, there is what is known as the taste nerve which passes through our surgical field. Sometimes the disease process may enclose the taste nerve, or we may be operating for a long duration in the ear, in which case the taste nerve may be handled many times. Also, sometimes there are times when the taste nerve does not allow us access to the deeper ear, in which case the taste nerve may be sacrificed. In these cases, you will have a metallic taste on the side of the tongue, which is on the side of the operated ear. This metallic taste goes away in 6 to 12 weeks time. That's 1.5 to 3 months time. Sometimes it may even take longer. Please bear with it. It will slowly settle down on its own. Some patients complain of what is known as tinnitus. Tinnitus is a ringing or roaring sensation in your ear, which happens many times. Either it happens in the post-operative period only, or there are patients who have had the complaint before surgery and they say that the complaint has become worse, the sound has become worse in the post-operative period. This will slowly settle down as the ear heals. Please give it time. I know it is very cumbersome and very irritating to have a constant ringing sound in your ear, but there is nothing to be done. You just have to give it some time. As the ear heals, the sound will slowly go away. You may have some popping or crackling sounds inside your ear in the post-operative period. Usually it takes anywhere between a few weeks to even up to 6 weeks to settle down. 6 weeks is the time which is usually taken for the ear to recover from a simple ear surgery. So during this duration, you will have this popping and crackling sounds, and it is strongly recommended that you do not do any heavy lifting or straining or weight lifting or exercises of any kind till the ear heals, because the ear is a very sensitive organ. Any kind of strain will cause the eardrum, which we have placed and repaired properly, to not heal properly if you do too much of straining. Please do not stifle your sneezes. If you want to sneeze, please sneeze with your mouth open. Do not try to sneeze like this. When you sneeze like this, there's a strong flow of air through the nose, part of which gets transmitted to your ear. Since your eardrum is weak now, if this air gets transmitted to your ear, then the eardrum, like I said, will not heal. So please do not stifle your sneezes. Please cough and sneeze with your mouth open. Achoo, like this, with your mouth open. Okay? Do not blow your nose. Same reason, because when you blow your nose, there's a strong flow of air through your nose and that gets transmitted to the operated ear. So please do not, if you have to blow your nose, blow it very gently. There may be a pulsing sensation in your ear. This is because all the blood vessels which we have cut, and slowly as they repair, this pulsing sensation will go away. Depending on for the first few weeks at least, avoid air travel, and thereafter also depending on what your ear surgery is, your surgeon may tell you to not go scuba diving or air travel with the cold. Normally after 6 weeks we allow all patients to do air travel, but there are certain conditions where air travel may have to be restricted. Please talk to your surgeon about this. But for the first 6 weeks post-operatively, air travel is strongly not recommended. Like I said earlier, please do not drive if you have a feeling of disbalance, as this will put you and other people at risk. Coming to post-operative care for nasal surgeries. For the first 3 to 6 weeks, it is very common to experience nasal crusting and nasal stuffiness. This takes about 3 to 6 weeks to go away, depending on how extensive your nasal surgery was. Most patients can rejoin their duties 1 week after a nasal surgery. Very rarely do we prescribe a 2-week rest. If there is a bandage placed under your nose after the surgery, please change this frequently depending on what kind of and how much of a bloody discharge you're getting from the nose. As the discharge slowly disappears, you may stop changing the dressing or change it just once a day. There will be some degree of pain to be expected. This goes both for ear and for the nose. So please take the simple pain medications that your surgeon has prescribed you at the allotted intervals. Very strongly recommended to take plenty of fluid, especially in the nose, because there will be a lot of watery discharge and a lot of bloody discharge coming off. So you need to replace the fluids which you are losing from your body. It is preferable that you sleep in a slightly head up position, so that when you're in a supine position, in a fat position, there's a slightly higher pressure on your head. More pressure on the head will cause more congestion and more discharge from your nose. If your head is slightly up, that decreases the pressure on your head, and that in turn will decrease the nasal discharge and nasal congestion, and your nose will heal faster. If you have some degree of bloody discharge, or in rare cases if you have an active bleeding in the nose when you are at home, please start with applying ice packs on your nose. This will decrease the temperature of the nose and decrease your nasal discharge. Besides that, you may be prescribed some nasal drops which have xylometazoline or oxymetazoline, and usually they need to be given 2 drops in each nose 3 times a day, that is at 6 to 8 hours interval every day for the prescribed period. Usually we give it for 7 days, maybe even up to 10 days. Beside this, you may be prescribed some nasal saline douches or irrigation, which is these are nasal sprays with very high pressure, so they cause washing of the nose. It is always preferable to please put the nozzle in a bit, not just at the tip. Just put the nozzle a little bit inside and then press it, and try to inhale gently the saline solution so that it comes through your mouth and the whole nose gets a proper wash. Please do this on the operated side or even on both sides if needed. If you are using the nasal drop and the saline nasal douches, then please use the nasal drop first, then after 15 minutes use the saline nasal sprays. If you are also prescribed some steroid nasal spray, then in that case first use the nasal drop so that it decongests your nose and makes your nose a little bit roomy, then the saline nasal sprays, then after another 15 minutes the steroid nasal spray. This should be the sequence in which you use the sprays. Depending on how many times you are asked to do this in a day, please follow this sequence. You may need several visits to your doctors. Unlike the ear surgery, which does not need a lot of visits to the doctor in the post-operative period, the nasal surgeries usually need quite a few visits. Usually my patients, I prescribe them to come every week, because there is a lot of mucus and snot and bloody discharge into your nose which needs to be cleaned every week. Otherwise your nose will slowly have crusting and stuffiness which will not go away, and after a while it becomes more and more difficult to clean them up because they become hard and rigid. So if you're using your nasal sprays properly, and if you come to your doctors regularly, then there should not be a problem. If you are usually we give a local anesthesia into your nose, so you don't have to worry that in the post-operative period when you're cleaning your nose it will be painful. We usually give a local anesthesia spray inside your nose to decrease any kind of discomfort inside your nose when we are cleaning up your nose. But if you are prescribed some painkillers, please take them immediately before coming for your visit, so you have much lesser pain. Despite the local anesthesia, if you take the painkiller as well, it makes the thing much easier for you and you will experience much less pain. There will be a thick discolored discharge from your nose in the post-operative period. This is very, very common, and this is because the sinuses are slowly clearing them up. Please bear with it, and it will go away after a few days. There should be no bending, no straining, and please avoid exercise for at least the first 2 weeks, because during this time the nose is very sensitive and there may be bleeding from your nose, or your stuffiness may increase if you do any kind of excessive strenuous activity. Some antibiotics cause severe diarrhea. Please immediately contact your surgeon or your local clinic in case you have a diarrhea, and please stop the antibiotic immediately. It is important that you be aware of this, because you may feel that the diarrhea is not related, but it is related to your antibiotic. Just like for ear surgery, same for the nasal surgery, please cough or sneeze with your mouth open. It is very important that you do not cause any severe airflow through your nose. Please do not blow your nose. If you have to blow your nose, please blow very gently. If you feel that you need to clean your nose and your nose is just not getting clean with the saline douches and the nasal drops, then please sniff like this very gently, and whatever snot comes out from the back of your throat, please spit it out. If you're bleeding from your nose, then like I said, apply the ice pack, open your mouth, hold a bowl in front of your mouth, spit whatever comes into your mouth into the bowl, and breathe gently. At that time you may also use your nasal decongestant drops, just 2 drops. Please avoid spicy foods till your nose heals, because spicy foods, as we all know, cause a more watery discharge through the nose, and that may just increase your discomfort. So it's preferable that you do not or avoid spicy foods till your nose recovers. It is also advisable to not use a straw during the recovery period. Do not use a straw to drink liquids. In case you have any of the following that I'm going to tell you, please contact your surgeon immediately and do not wait for the next appointment. 1 is if you're having severe nasal bleeding. 2, if you have any signs of infection like fever or a thick, purulent or like a pus-like discharge from your nose or a greenish discharge from your nose. If you have any problem in your vision, because when we operate on the nose, we are also operating very close to the eye. So if you're having double vision, or there is swelling of the eye, or there's pain in the eye, or you're having difficulty in moving your eyes in either of the directions, then please contact your surgeon immediately. If you're having clear watery discharge without any evidence of mucus, usually from any one of the side of the noses, please contact your surgeon immediately. It is very important, because this may have developed because of a complication. That's all today for friends. I hope I have made everything clear. Please be in clear communication with your surgeon. It is very important. Please do not try to self-medicate. Please be compliant with all the medications that you've been given. Please ask all the questions that you need to ask to your surgeons, and be free with him or her, so that it does not lead to any complications that your surgeon has to deal with later, or will cause more trouble for you. Please be in clear communication is very important between the doctor and the patient. Thank you friends. That will be all for today.